Wow, you came back for part 2. Thanks, I guess. And good luck.
Another one, $2 bin.
Oh,
$2. Yeah,
Man.
$2. This sounds great too. It's got a little bit of Rice Krispies between the tracks. Yardbirds for your love, man. Oh my gosh, it's all good. It's all good. A must have. I'm really glad I picked it up for cheap bin.
I haven't had a chance to listen to this one yet, but this is Country Joe and the Fish, CJ Fish. From what I've read online, there's some psychedelic elements still, but they're sort of going in a more, almost like a soft rock sound from what I've read, so I'm not sure, again.
Laurel Canyon, maybe?
Yeah, can't speak to it personally because I haven't listened to it yet, which I have no excuse, but there are a couple tracks on here, like they've got The Return of Sweet Lorraine, and I know Sweet Lorraine or Sweet Martha Lorraine or something is on Electric Mind, and it's really deep, so maybe that's one of the tracks that's a little more psych. The Love Machine, I kind of do know that song a little bit, but yeah, $1 bin find, really clean copy too.
Another $2 find. Out of our heads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one I think I put this on the turntable, just like a general, let me see how it sounds thing. Little Rice Krispies, $2 find on Red London label. Yeah, I've been picking up a ton of the early Stone stuff. It's just been, I've been finding it, and again, my respect for it has grown immensely. I always kind of thought like, single plus filler, but I think actually their early albums hold up. They're not the great Stones albums of the late 60s, early 70s.
Right.
But
man, still really Satisfaction.
yeah, I mean, it's
The Under Assistant West Coast Promotion, man, I do like that.
that is a great track. That is an underrated track.
Killing them with the $2 find.
I know. I've had the $2 bins have been very kind.
Yeah. Alright, this was $1 find as well, the immortal Otis Redding. This is rough. The cover's kind of, it's decent. There's like some, you know, a cup stain there where somebody put down a drink.
Why would someone put a cup of anything on anything that isn't a coaster?
But no, the record on this is really rough. I actually haven't put it on my turntable yet because I'm just like
trepidation.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the stylus, and I know it's gonna be noisy, so I'll put it on eventually and see how it sounds. But for Otis Redding, he's tough to find around here, and so I found this in the $1 bin. I was like, I don't even care about the condition. I'm just gonna grab it. At least a placeholder, maybe until a better copy comes along. So yeah, there you go. Oh God. Loogie.
Next one, still from Recycled Records in Springfield. Parted up on this one, not the $2 bin, but the $4 bin.
Good God.
Between the Buttons.
That's a really nice cover too.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen this cover in this nice a shape for anything less than the big bucks.
Yeah.
Mono again on the London label. Not all that into side one. Ruby Tuesday is one of my favorite Stones tracks of all time. But Let's Spend the Night Together, in my opinion, is the most bland Stone track of all time.
I like it.
Oh, I don't know. And the thing is,
you liked it.
no, it gets in my head like crazy. When you hear that song, and but it just, I don't care for it. It just is not great songwriting. And Let's Spend the Night Together. Why don't you just come right out and say it? You know, let's not use metaphor or simile or poetry or anything like that. You and me, let's go. Side 2, Miss Amanda Jones, all sold out. My Obsession, Something Happened to Me Yesterday. Oh, all good stuff. So for $4, Between the Buttons, in fact, I put this album a lot on the show last week, so I won't say much more about it, but really enjoy it.
Alright, another $1 find from Reverb. This is Alice Cooper, Love It to Death, the big hit I'm 18. This is this is the airbrushed cover. The first issues of this, he was sticking his thumb out of his pants because ha ha ha. And so they,
it
looked like a wiener. Not remotely an early copy or anything like that, but for $1, it was really clean. The record was dirty. I had to clean it up a lot, but once I got it cleaned up, it was really nice. And yeah, I recently discovered this year that I like early Alice Cooper stuff.
The band Alice Cooper.
The band Alice Cooper, yes. I kind of dig it. It's hard rock. There's a couple tracks that get a little trippy, a little bit weird. It surprised me how much I was like, oh, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
like
I also want to encourage people, again, I did this on the show, but check out the documentary Super Duper Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not into the late 70s stuff, you can turn it off halfway through. But the first half hour to 45 minutes of him talking about the LA scene in the late 60s and hanging out with Zappa and the GTOs and stuff like that, that's a lot of fun. But cool stuff from that LA scene, and also they talk a lot about the Detroit late 60s scene, which
that's very
you and
cool.
I I'm diving in deep to the Detroit stuff.
Took 18 years to get this far.
Big find from Recycled. On that day I just happened to pop in. I think I paid $14 for Grateful Dead, Live Dead. I've listened to this quite a bit, and will say that some of it is lost on me. There's jam psych and stuff like that. Not that I don't enjoy it. The 15-minute side 3, Turn On Your Love Light, is awesome. Everybody kind of knows it's awesome. Dark Star, the side 1, the 23-minute track. I'm kind of like, boy, I'm losing it here, guys. But you know, it's good. I know it's good, and I just, as a person who's, I would say, I'm not a deadhead yet by any means, but starting to enjoy more and more stuff from the Grateful Dead. And so I guess when you do a psych show and talk about psych stuff, you can't really pass up a $14 copy of Live Dead. This is cool.
Another $1 holler. The Spencer Davis group, I'm a Man.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
But the first 2 tracks, there were a skip on both of them. But I was able to fix it. A little toothpick trick.
You toothpick trick?
I did. I gave it a shot because it was one of those, like, there's already 2 skips and it was $1. So I just took a toothpick and kind of dug through the groove where the skip was. Got rid of it. There's, you know, when there's some click now when it goes through, but for the most part, pretty happy with it for $1 for a Spencer Davis group album. This, you know, this is normally 15 to 20 bucks. So great stuff, bluesy, pop rock, really good guitar playing, of course, Steve Winwood. Yeah, just I'm a big fan of this Spencer Davis.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Yes, I am.
Megan Draper, dude.
Yes.
You cannot, I can't listen to that song now without seeing her walking out of that little sports car to pick up Don at the airport. Oh my God. So I'm going to start showing stuff that I found on our trip up to Reverberation. First thing, upgrade copy, but Led Zeppelin's Presence, I probably have mentioned on the videos before and certainly on the show. Led Zeppelin's probably my favorite band of all time. And to be honest with you, I don't actually listen to them that much anymore because I listened to them so much throughout high school and college. I just kind of feel like I already know it. It's all there, but I could never say that I don't care for it anymore. Yeah, that was upgrade copy. Kind of for my Led Zeppelin fetish.
Yeah, absolutely.
This project is called Rock Band. I'm talking about bands that rock. Led Zeppelin. Don't tell me you guys have never gotten the lead out. Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. Ring any bells?
Last of the dollar bin stuff. I was super pumped to find this. This is the Standells in person at PJ's. Standells' first album. I don't know if it's actually a live recording or like one of those, like they just dubbed in audience noise, but it sounds live, so I'm thinking maybe it really was. This is pre-Dirty Water days, so it's not psych yet, you know, not garage psych, it's just sort of like frat rock almost. And of course they do have a cover of Louie Louie, I'll Go Crazy, all the sort of like garage standards are on here. Not like a great album, but a cool snippet of the Standells history. And for $1, I couldn't believe it was in there.
On Liberty Records too. That's really cool.
Yeah. cool stuff there.
Yeah, you mentioned I'll Go Crazy. I didn't realize how popular of a cover song that had been. Obviously, the James Brown version of Live at the Apollo. But I didn't realize that became kind of a party standard.
Yeah.
Like, let's do our crazy version of I'll Go Crazy.
Exactly.
So
That riff is really cool. That's just that driving beat.
I bet drummers love to play that song. If you leave me, I'll go crazy.
You gon' get me, why go crazy? 'Cause I love you, I love
More pickups from Reverb. Found it. Freak Out. Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. This is a mono copy, and I am fairly sure that it is a first pressing. I love this record. Had it on CD and liked it. The vinyl listen brought it out, man. I know that's such quick. Oh, vinyl, you gotta hear it on vinyl. But in all honesty, what are we making these videos for if we're not guys who believe that? So,
For sure.
Frank Zappa, wouldn't have said I cared all that much about him a year ago. Now, shooting up to the like, oh, I want to hear. I don't know if I want to hear everything. Well, I do want to hear everything.
Yeah.
But his output was prolific.
It was
60 albums during his lifetime or something. But this is the first one.
That is so cool.
So.
Alright, more Reverb stuff, not dollar bin stuff anymore. This is Moby Grape, wow. This was like $2 or $3 though. There's some water damage on the back there where the covers ripped a little bit, but I was in a buying mood and just was grabbing stuff.
You were throwing money around.
I was.
Mystical Visions?
I was making it
throwing
rain.
money around. Let your wife know.
I was. She knows. It's not. This is not fantastic or anything. This is just kind of like, okay, it's Moby Grape. I'll buy it for that. But
You know, and they're a band that I have not gotten into yet because I never find this stuff, and I know you've got a lot of it. But I kind of like the iconography here. This is like a button I would wear or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Love the
Moby
track
Grape
names on the
logo
back
there.
too. I think it's just kind of neat. Like the artwork. I don't know.
I gave this sort of
$3.
yeah.
I'd pick it up.
I gave it one sort of half-hearted listen. I was kind of doing other stuff all the time, so I need to go back and give it a proper listen, as our friends from across the pond would say.
Alright, so for as much as I enjoy Freak Out, I have to say that I like We're Only In It For The Money better. These were two kind of pony ups for me, but this was the record. I found a $5 copy of this in Chicago that was listenable, but not terribly listenable, with really, really bad water damage. And so when I found this one for $25, kick that one onto Mellow Yellow, I know he'll give it a good home and a good listen.
I've already listened to it.
I love this. I love this so much. They took everything that they did with that album, they condensed it down, folded it over on itself. Obviously, that's kind of interesting because it's only one disc, so I guess that's double meaning, and just took it deeper. Oh, I love it so much, and I love the mock-up of Sgt. Pepper's that only come out a couple years earlier. This, you will see this again in my top 10 of the year, undoubtedly. It's a contender for best of the year for me. So.
This was kind of a pickup that I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to either. Sort of a rookie mistake, and we're not rookie record collectors, but this is Fever Tree, Another Time, Another Place. This was $7 or $8, and in my head I was like, oh, that goes for more online for some reason. And I didn't really pay attention to the condition of this either, and I went ahead and bought it. It typically goes for like $8 or $9 apparently, according to Discogs. And it was like, I don't know, just in the bin I saw it and I just put it in my pile, kind of a thing. The spine is really rough.
Uni-label.
It is the uni-label.
Ooh,
I've got to glue this together.
Oh boy.
The record, fortunately, is pretty good. I would say a solid VG.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So it's sort of, if you know Fever Tree at all, this is very much in the same sound as their first album.
Was that also on Uni? Were they working
yes,
Uni for their whole?
I believe so. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. The sort of hard bluesy psych rock with a hard rock bent to it. So it plays loud. So if it's a VG record, it plays VG plus kind of a thing. So I'm a little upset about the cover, and it was one of those like, why did I do that? Like I could have spent that $8 or $9 on something else or $7 or whatever, you know. But again, it's about the music, not the cover. You play the record, you don't play the cover, so.
Gonna dream our dreams together. Trust in
So let's see here. Okay, so I only had 3 pickups in Bloomington, but it was a great trip. Then was able to get some time at a record store in southern Wisconsin. The exclusive company that I liked quite a bit. It's in my wife's hometown. It's 3 blocks from the house she's lived in for her entire life. She had never been in there. Ever. Okay, so upgrade copy. Doors, Soft Parade. If you are familiar with the Doors, which I would assume that most people who watch our videos are, the Soft Parade and Waiting for the Sun they've gotten a little too much grief. Yeah. Are they as good as the other 4? They are not. Are they good? Yes, they're good rock albums. But I like this album. I genuinely do. I think it gets underrated. I think I had a $3 or $4 copy. This was a first pressing, and it was like $8. And I was like, yeah, I've got to get an upgrade copy of that. That deserves it. First of all, because the pillow's kind of throwing off my balance, but I'm like trying to pull the shirt down to like get rid of like the total man boob shadows.
Flatten them out.
I just have like the weird like, I don't know, it's shadows.
It is the shadows.
Shadows and angles.
Yes.
A little bit of the George Costanza. Like, you've actually got some really nice pecs under there.
We're getting there, folks. Just a few left. This is the United Sons of America, USA, or US of A, I'm sorry. This is one I've seen quite a bit, around the $15 to $20 mark, and I think this was $12. This is sort of just blues influenced, sort of early hard rock sound, not real hard. Gosh, it's kind of in between pop and hard rock. It's kind of a weird description of that, I know, because it's conflicting, but a couple tracks are sort of like, oh, it's kind of late 60s hard rock, and then there are a couple tracks that's like, oh, that's kind of a straightforward blues rock track from the late 60s. So, but they do have a couple tracks that are a little bit harder edged, but it's not bad. I would say like kind of Blood, Sweat, and Tears style blues rock with fewer horns and a little bit harder in a few spots. The last track on the album is Friends. It's 8 minutes and 40 seconds long, so you think, all right, there is the psych jam on here. No, it's still sort of like just sort of hard rock, few horns thrown in, a little bit spacey in a couple spots, but generally speaking, not real psych influenced on here. So, but it was an enjoyable listen. Kind of, it's really a hard one to kind of nail down because the genre, it's sort of, it's hard to pin down because
it's a melting pot, much like the USA.
It is. There you go. Oh.
All right.
I just make no sense with that. It's this and this and this, and it's none of those things.
For a brief time during your description there, I was transfixed on this hair that's growing out of your ear. Dude, it's all over for me. I found a white chest hair earlier this week.
My nose hairs have been bothering the heck out of me. There's like 2 in this one that just continually just sort of tickles in there, and you're like, oh, and so you're driving and you're just your finger up there, and people drive by. It is. It's like I'm not picking my nose. It just itches really bad.
I'm not picking my nose. I'm just trying to pull hairs out of it.
Right.
Jeez, I'm not gross.
Are we not human? If we peck, do we not bleed? I am not an animal.
Also from exclusive company, Sly and the Family Stone, Greatest Hits. This is kind of beat up. I think this was $2 or $3. I think it was a $3 find. It's Rolling Stone 500 Greatest, even though I'm fundamentally opposed to Greatest Hits being on countdowns like that. It is what it is, and you can't argue with the track listing on this one being great. It's kind of a must-have. So
it is.
For a $3 pickup, I just no disappointment whatsoever.
Got some McCoys, the Infinite McCoys. I have Human Ball as well as their Hang On Sloopy album. Hang On Sloopy is...
That's not what I thought you said there.
What did you think I said?
I have human balls. Dirty joke clap.
Their first album was sort of the garage rock, frat rock kind of stuff, Hang On Sloopy. Second album, I believe, was Human Ball. Human Ball. Anyway, and that's sort of like, it's blues rock, a little bit psyche. It's really good stuff. And so I picked this up thinking it would be more along that line. And it's sort of a melding of the two. There's a couple tracks that are very poppy. Jesse Brady is really poppy. But then they have the 2 songs that close out the first side, Hell and Genesis Through a Window, are really floaty, psych pop stuff. It's really good, cool stuff.
Another $3 find, one I've wanted for a long time and just thought I could pick it up anywhere and I'll see it for cheaper and in better shape. And I finally did. Can't buy a thrill. Steely Dan. Love this album.
Yeah, I do too.
That's good. I'd never listened to the whole thing before. Put it on a couple nights ago and was just like, man, that's solid.
Yeah.
Debut album from Steely Dan, 72.
Asia gets all the love in like the greatest albums list and stuff. I like this one a lot better.
I think that this one gets some love too in that. Countdown to Ecstasy does.
Yeah.
All of their stuff at least has one thing on it that I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes like Katie Lied has a few good things on it, but it's not a great album altogether. Right. But yeah, I like Can't Buy a Thrill quite a bit. Gonna spend some of that tomorrow night.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I dig it.
Two guys named themselves after a robotic machine in a trippy William Burroughs novel who make weird songs. What is Reeling in the Years really about?
This is the basic Blues Magoos, the Blues Magoos. I know Bo, I think, just recently picked this up, and Ron commented on it and said this is probably as psychedelic as the Blues Magoos got.
That's cool.
That's probably true overall, but there are a couple tracks that are sort of pop rock fare. And then side 2 opens with the President's Council on Psychedelic Fitness, and the track is not remotely psychedelic, not even a little bit.
That's disappointing.
So
That's
it really
a great
is.
Track name.
It is a cool track name, but track 2 on side 2, Scarecrow's Love Affair. If we do another Halloween special, that's getting played. I like this one quite a bit. If you're familiar with the Blues Magoos, especially their first album, Psychedelic Lollipop, this is very similar to that, kind of garagey, pop rock, but psychedelic influences. Overall, really, really good stuff. I like it a lot.
This one, another, I think maybe $4 I paid for this one. Stephen Stills, self-titled album. Love the one you're with. Didn't need to read any more tracks than that.
Yeah.
Buying it. Haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but it is 1001 Greatest Albums, or 1001 You Have to Hear Before You Die. So, looking forward to that.
Slip away, because your baby is so far away.
Alright, last one for me from Reverb. This is the Kinks Face to Face. They had a bunch of Kinks stuff there, but a lot of them had like the cat claws.
Yeah, I was like,
and he had them priced a little bit high.
This one you
this one
you
was,
did well on.
This one was
you're good for you.
13 or 14 bucks. Yeah, I was super pumped about this. Almost pointed up. They had something else by the Kinks. I almost popped in that, but it had the cat claw mark, so I didn't go for it. But my gosh, this is so good.
That's the find I'm most jealous of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
really
I did
is.
it.
Yeah.
He's taken everything I got.
My last one, also $3 bin, exclusive company in southern Wisconsin. Inner Sounds of the Id. Mono cover, stereo record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't really. In all honesty, that's happened to me a few times, and both times it's been with an RCA record.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I don't know if that was something that just frequently, like RCA accidentally had a problem where they put stuff in the wrong, or two people showed up at a place and didn't realize stereo versus mono. And track number 3, Don't Think Twice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Deep stuff, isn't it, man?
It's really good. I only have listened to side 1 of this because frankly I'm not ready for side 2. I listened to the first side, it was late at night, and I was like, I am really, really digging this. Side 2 I think looks a little bit better too. So anyway, but Inner Sounds of the Id, I texted Mellow Yellow about this and I was like, is that album worth $3? Because I know he'd hyped it up before. Kind of jokingly, but to be like, because I know he'd said a lot of great things about it and I've liked everything he played about it on the show. But just kind of, I knew he'd know the price point on it and he was like, yes, I paid $30 for it, buy it. So was really, really happy to get that. Gosh, I really like this album.
Side 1 is
Side 1 is all I've listened to, and I like this album.
The Rake, Boy, the Kettle Mother are both on side 1. Yes. The Inner Sounds of the Id, the closing track on side 2, is really
trippy,
good. It's
oh man.
Yeah, that's a heck of a find. Man.
I am really looking forward to listening to side 2 of this. Probably do the whole side 1.
Yeah.
Maybe get my one of the Dream Machine.
Yes.
Bust that out of it. Thank you so much for however long this ended up being, for sticking with us. Thank you for sticking around for parts 1 and 2. But thank you for tuning into the Psychedelic Experience record run. We know obviously YouTube has literally millions of choices for you.
Yes.
So thanks for tuning into our vid. Check out our show, link down the bottom and everything like that. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys.